What, by being on time?
Yes.
And we are live! On time. We're technically a minute early. Surprise, everyone. Bet you didn't see that coming.
Potentially we're live. Or in fact, maybe this is all pre-recorded so it would be on time.
Yes. I've got my Christmas jumper on, but this was actually recorded in July.
Yes. It's 2020. Who's going to be able to tell the difference? I haven't been out.
I saw the most amazing tweet earlier on is 2020 trying to navigate 2020 is like we were trying to cross the road and we looked both ways and then got hit by a submarine.
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Whatever. What were you going to say then?
Only, navigating 2020 sort of temporally is the same as the 90s being 10 years ago.
Yeah. Do you think 2020 is just going to be perpetually last year now?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I feel it's certainly going to be something that we're explaining to our kids for a while.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Granddad, what did you do during 2020?
Funny story, yeah. Good
I
grief.
leveled up one-handed.
We got a great show for you, everyone. How's everyone doing? So yes, proper Crimbo, and yeah, if anyone had to look that up, that's a Bow Selector reference, and you'll have to Google it. Proper Crimbo. It was that ever a Christmas #1? It was in the charts. I don't know if it hit #1 or not. It should have. It deserved
Probably.
to.
Something like that.
I hope so.
The thing that makes me really sad about like the early mid 2000s is that all of the copies that people have of it are digital copies, and digital recorders at that time recorded in like 144p. So it's like everything from like 2000 to like 2010ish is just in genuine trash quality.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it's such a shame.
The file format MP3, just rather the wrapper .mp3 has been around since the 90s, but what is today an MP3 is nothing like what an MP3 was in the 90s. So yes. Right, have they tried trash quality? Yeah. Trash quality is good. I don't use many American terms, but I like to use trash. Because just saying rubbish quality doesn't quite have the same impact as trash quality, I don't think. Rubbish.
I feel like rubbish can't really be used as an intensifier. But trash can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a description. It was a bit rubbish. It was, yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's one of the things where you'd be describing it as.
Rubbish is quite mild, isn't it? Whereas trash is just like, that's trash, man.
Also, trash just makes you sound more common.
I guess.
I just guess it depends on your perspective.
Are we rating terms now? So like trash is S tier here, and rubbish is just like B tier. You can use it, but it's not the best word to use here. Or naff, yeah. Right, can't see 2021 being much better. Well,
no, because the year isn't the problem.
Yeah, I think
ignoring blindingly obvious effects to our actions.
I think we're going to be better by summer. That's my prediction. I think by summer, we'll be in a better place. I think by summer it will be a matter of the vaccine has rolled out and we'll all be, and all the restrictions have been lifted, and it's still going to be about, and there's still going to be some people catching it and being in hospital, but enough people will have been vaccinated that it's not something that the average person needs to worry about anymore. That's my prediction. I'm not placing any stakes or money on this. So yes. Oh yeah, breadlines. Oh yeah, Brexit. Yeah. Before we get too political, let's talk about some tech, because otherwise, one of a friend in common between myself and Karadog, who was visiting me today with his computer. You know who I'm talking about, right, Karadog?
Yes.
Yes. We were setting the world to rights earlier on today, so I've had my purge of ranting and just the two of us going, I know, right? And why are people so stupid? So I've
had your Karthik release.
Yeah, I've had my fix of that today. So
yeah,
a few days ago, I found the most amazing site, and I immediately thought, this one is so Adamant IT. What was that? Do tell. Okay, right. Oh, Cyberpunk 2077.
Funk.
Cyberfunk, yeah, it was a bit funky, wasn't it? Been booted off. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The game is not finished. The PC version is buggy but passable. It's no worse than Skyrim, I guess. However, the console version, so PlayStation and Xbox One, because they're I'm not wrong in saying this, but there's no next-gen version of 2077 yet, is there? There's no Series X version or PS5 version. They're running in backwards compatibility, aren't they? Is my understanding.
As far as I'm aware, they are native editions, but they aren't necessarily enhanced in any specific fashion.
Yeah.
So it's not like having to run through the back compat emulators or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yes. But they are but it is the same edition, just running natively.
So at any rate, from everything I've seen, if you had if you had a PlayStation 4, if you had a day zero PS4, you were getting somewhere between 15 and 20 FPS, which is basically unplayable. And if you had a PS4 Pro, then you could get a decent steady 30 FPS, but the graphics were dialed back so far that the game is just it's night and day different to PC version, enough for people to be like, this isn't at all what you said it would be. So it's a case of on the OG PS4, it's basically unplayable, and on the PS4 Pro or the graphics are dialed down so far that it is at best false advertising. And so it's at the very least the console versions, I think it's fair to say, were just not ready. And presumably CDPR were just like, we can't delay this again, just ship it. And it's a case of, I don't know, guys, I think you could delay it again. I think you needed to.
I kind of feel like it's the case that it just shouldn't have been released on consoles anyway.
Yeah, that seems to be
the
PlayStation 4
PC
version
and Xbox
is just like, oh, we'll fix it in post, but the console versions, yeah.
The PC version is good. And is kind of where it was expected to be, I feel.
Yeah.
The consoles,
there's bugs, but there's bugs in new games. That's a thing that happens.
The consoles just aren't good enough.
It's not good enough.
The hardware is not good enough.
Yeah.
It's a 7-year-old processor that was crap when it was launched 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of a case of they should have just gone, there is no PlayStation 4, there is no Xbox version.
Yeah, I agree with that. They should have just made it a next-gen release. But then again, it's just I suppose they had all those pre-orders for the previous console generation, because pre-orders have been open for, 2 years or something stupid like that? And so, like Tribal said, stop pre-ordering. It's just, I don't know how many times people have to be burnt before they get this into their heads. Stop pre-ordering a product that is a digital product and literally cannot go out of stock. The point of a pre-order is to be first in line. But when it's a digitally distributed virtual product that has no finite stock level, there is zero need to pre-order. But yeah.
See, not quite. There is a minor caveat on that.
I suppose preloading.
Not quite.
Okay.
There is a minor caveat on that. I can't remember which games it was, but there are a couple of games where the licensing on the game meant, even though it was a digital copy, they could only sell a certain number of licenses for it. And that number of licenses was like 4,000 or 10,000 sort of thing. There was some weird licensing issue from their publisher or something like that. And it was just like...
This happens sometimes if you buy... This happens sometimes when you buy games on a third-party site and try and activate it on Steam, doesn't it? Because like where Steam is just like, oh, we're out of licenses for that or something like that.
Yeah,
or was that, that always just
was...
a cheap excuse of no, it was a dodgy code? But...
I don't know. No, it wasn't. Certainly for Call of Duty 2. Sorry, Call of Duty 5, 6, Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2, that's what it was called. There was genuinely a case that they ran out of codes for it.
Damn, fair enough.
They genuinely completely ran out of codes and just couldn't sell the game for like 4 or 5 months.
I suppose
it couldn't have been that long.
You still need
a month, 2 months.
Even though you can generate the licenses out of thin air because you're literally you're just generating license codes, you still actually have to generate and distribute the codes. So yeah, I guess that's kind of fair. But it's not really something that you consider. It's not something that really needs to be factored in as far as the consumer is concerned. I don't think, is it? So yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's also a case that people are also. The separate other issue with the graphical performance, people, certainly on the PC version, I'm specifically talking about the PC version because it's got all of the options where you can change settings and so on. Yeah. People are going, I can't run this game on Ultra, therefore it's badly optimized. No, you're trying to run a game on Ultra. Ultra should break every current graphics card.
Yes.
That's the point of the Ultra setting.
I absolutely agree with that.
If a game at 1080p medium doesn't play on a 3090, it's broken as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean...
Ultra is supposed to be the ludicrous option for the game has been out for a couple of years at least, and hardware has caught up with it. And so now you can push the game, you can just dial it up to 11 because lol, I've got so much horsepower, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to run current gen stuff on Ultra, and if you are running on Ultra, then it means the game, the developers probably could have pushed the boat out a little bit further. Ultra is supposed to be this is as high as the engine is physically capable of without breaking. So I agree with that.
I think the only time that you'll run current games on Ultra is when you are right at the end of a console generation.
Yeah.
You're in the final year, 2 years of a console generation. That's when absolute top spec PCs will be able to just go Ultra 4K 60 done.
It's a lot like with Flight Sim 2020. Everyone's just like, oh, it's so heavy. It breaks everyone's computers. Like that game is intended to have a 10-year lifespan minimum.
Yeah.
So of course it's not going to run that great on release because they're anticipating it still being perfectly good in 10 years. That's a long time away.
Absolutely.
So and also it's also a matter of graceful degradation as well. Now, if a game has got really bad degradation on lower settings, I can understand because there are some games where if you dial them down to medium settings, you start seeing major concessions in quality. If you can, there are quite a lot of games where you can dial them down to medium graphics and it still looks great, and that's the point. Because it's a case of you don't need the graphics on the mountain 100 miles in that direction to be in 4K quality because you can't see them anyway. Exactly. However, on Ultra, they'll be in 4K quality because they can.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a case. I think part of the excellent proof in that is with Digital Foundry's videos that they do for kind of the console matching settings on PC to match up the PC version to the PS4 Pro version or Xbox One X version. They do that, And a lot of the time, it's a mixture of mediums and low. So it's kind of a case of the game on console is on medium and low. So if you can run the game on all medium on PC, you're running at or fractionally higher than the quality
version
of the One X or PS4 Pro. So it's kind of a case of, medium is what the game is ultimately designed around. High, very high, ultra are all based on the people who've spent, £4,000 on a computer.
Yeah, that's fair. So yes, well, there you go. That was Cyberpunk then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it's. But like, I wasn't waiting for the game, so I don't really care. I don't really have a horse in the race. I think, and like, for people who are either dunking on CDPR for their stock tanking and stuff like that, it's just like, I don't feel strongly one way or the other. I think that they have fumbled the situation big time, and I think there's lessons to be learned about this with regards to overhyping a game, and also just the way that the game was the game was in development for 8 years, kind of thing, and it's just like, well, no, it wasn't. You don't develop a game for 8 years. That doesn't happen. But, what happened was it got shelved for about 5 of those years while they did Witcher 3 and stuff like that. However, I think, there's a lesson to be learned here about just overhyping games in general. It's just, again, the gaming industry, they need to just make a game and then sell it. I don't think they should ramp up marketing on a game until they are, like, at beta, basically. I think I think they could do a teaser like a year or so before release and say this is coming next year, but you literally just say next year. No, not even what quarter, just next year. And then when you have something that is beta, where it's basically there but it's just in the final stages, you then say, right, we're in beta. How long is it going to take to get all of this fixed? 6 months? Cool. All right. We're setting the release date 6 months down the line from now, But as I say, everyone just seems to be, everyone's got this thing het up where they're like, no, we have to set the day, month, the day, month and time a year a year or two in advance. And then all of the fanboys come out and they're like, I've booked a week off of work to play this game and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, don't stop scheduling your life around a release, because when people are doing that builds up all of that pressure. It's just like when the game got delayed initially and people were just like, oh, I booked off a week for this release day and it's not, and now you've delayed it. And it's just like, well, maybe you shouldn't have booked off a week off of work for a video game. Just saying, or failing that, you go, oh, that's unfortunate. But again, it's the mixture of
I guess I'll still have a week off.
Yeah, and it's a mixture of customer stupidity and the developers, the studios enabling that kind of behavior, or borderline encouraging it with all of that level of hype that then creates the perfect storm of a botched release like Cyberpunk 2077, which is unfortunate,
I saw somewhere that Cyberpunk in the day 1 and day 2 sales of the game covered their development costs.
Well, the pre-orders covered the development costs. So yeah, one way or the other, they've made their money back. Depending on how many refunds they get.
But even then, it's a case that it's guaranteed to cover their costs, basically, because people still buy it in a year's time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think this isn't going to sink CDPR or anything like that.
And, no, absolutely.
And also, like, there's not a doubt in my mind that this time in 6 months, let's say, the game will be in tip-top shape, just like Witcher 3 is today. Like, I wasn't around for the Witcher 3 release, but lots of people have said how Witcher 3 was pretty broken on release, and it got fixed. And while I'm not excusing CDPR, because I will always judge things on the day of release, like No Man's Sky, classic example. Yeah, No Man's Sky, that got fixed. That had a big old redemption arc, and the game is now in a great place. However, I will forever judge it for the day one release. And while yes, they did fix it, but it will always be a game that was released broken and incomplete. And that again was a perfect storm of overhyping and studios writing checks that their asses couldn't cash. Same goes with this. Is they will fix it. It will be fine. And this time, next summer, I'll probably buy it, play it, and have a ball. However, it will always be the game that was released completely broken and is a standing lesson on how not to release a game.
Absolutely. I think it's a case that if I pick it up, I probably won't pick it up until the next generation of graphics cards anyway. Just because I have no interest in playing the game, particularly. I have no vested interest in playing the game.
Yeah.
There is no massive draw to it. So I'm more than happy to play it. But it's a case of, I'm gonna be waiting at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
Probably 2.5 years on it.
I haven't watched any gameplay at all, so I don't know.
It looked really, really good. It is genuine next genness.
Yeah, screenshots I've seen from PC look amazing. So and but I haven't seen any screenshots and footage from people playing on normal computers. And by normal computers, I'm saying, people that have a typical Joe average PC who've got a Pascal or whatever the 20 series graphics card are, a modest, a mid-range setup, the kind of setup that the average person has, I guess a setup like mine,
It seems to play quite well on medium at 1080p or 1440p.
Yeah.
Medium gives you there's also the fact that you can scale up, you can go to ultra, and then you add ray tracing on afterwards and just stuff like that. So it's nice that they've sort of the graphics menu are very detailed and very in depth. So it's nice to see that, because there's a lot of tweaking that you can do.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, I'm being called out for saying beta, not beta. Beta. I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize for saying words correctly.
Isn't beta actually correct? I don't know. I just always say beta. I don't know. Whatever. Derailing. Fair enough. But yeah. Yeah, that massive market share dip though. That's that is
stock price.
Stock price, yeah. Stock price only matters when people want to cash out though.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's so close to irrelevant in so many ways.
It's stock price is just how much money they would lose if they cashed out today, which obviously they're not going to. It's like let's say if if I buy Bitcoin, if I buy a single Bitcoin today for whatever for $20,000, tomorrow it crashes down to $10,000. I haven't lost any money yet because I haven't cashed out. Because if next week it goes up to $30,000, I've now gained money if I cash it out at that point. So
have you gained 10,000, or have you gained 20,000 from the low?
Well, that's my point. I've gained 10,000 because that's what I invested. So that's the thing. You haven't lost the money until you cash out. It just means that. So that's the thing, is it's wiped out value of their company, but it hasn't deprived them of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
it hasn't affected their cash flow.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's it's certainly egg on their face. It doesn't make their company. It makes their company look not very strong at all, which discourages investment and development and stuff like that. So it's bad optics. However, it's not necessarily depriving them of money. And I guess it's only bad
as far
optics.
as I'm aware. CDPR are self-published anyway, basically. It makes close to sod all difference to them.
Yeah. it's only bad optics from the front of people who, like us, who are just looking in. But like people who are actually interested in investment and trading, they'll look at that and they'll be like, "Oh, that's terrible," but they're going to bounce back because they're a massive studio, they're a darling studio with darling titles that everyone wants. That's going to bounce back. That's just simply a loss of people. So it's a panic sale. There's always going to be a dip.
Yeah.
I mean, as Teltac just said, stock price almost always doubles back up to twice the original value after a dip, because it's going to dip and people are going to be like, well, clearly that's going to go back up. So everyone buy now while it's cheap. If anything, now is a really good time to buy CDPR stock. Disclaimer, I'm not giving advice. So, but
yes.
Yeah.
I think it's also the perfect example of that is I can't remember who it was now. But sorry, a slightly different comment is just a comment about saying about turnover, income, cash sort of thing. That turnover is vanity, income is sanity, and cash is king. It's ultimately a case of it doesn't matter what your stock price is, and it doesn't matter what your turnover is. It matters how much cold hard cash you have.
Yeah,
because cold hard cash is what pays the bills.
That's true. Yeah. Go look at the late '90s, the .com boom. The .com bubble, where there were all of these internet startup companies that were selling off stock like loo roll, and then it actually turned out that what they had was a lot of inflated numbers, but no actual money. That's literally what the .com bubble was. All of this enormous hype, but absolutely nothing of monetary value. Well, that's literally what it was, and that's the moral of that story. Yeah,
I mean, to me, in the sense of it's exactly the same as like Slack, because Slack was bought for, wasn't it, something like $20 billion?
Really? Good grief!
Yeah,
I mean, well,
and
I suppose
like,
it's used. It's big in the enterprise space, isn't it?
But their turnover was less than £1 billion. Kind of thing. So it's like more than 20 years of turnover is less than the cash price they bought it for. How do you ever expect to make money on that?
Yeah, I think also it's just like just because something is big and widely used doesn't mean it has any value. It's like Yahoo,
like SolarWinds.
Yeah, oh no,
that was well used. That's gonna die.
Oof. Get a band-aid for that burn. Slack is dying to Teams. Yeah. I still don't. I've never worked in a company or been involved with a company where such messaging programs make sense, but I just don't understand the function that Slack and Teams actually provide that a telephone hasn't, or or just running IRC, because IRC won't require 18 cores and 4 gigs of RAM. Well, it's the ability to separate out rooms, isn't it? It's just like
IRC had rooms back in the 90s.
Oh no, you're right. It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I just don't get why it requires like 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I was going to say
85 cores.
Yeah, I was going to say modern chat programs. IRC is great, but it just doesn't have a good front end. And modern chat programs like Discord, etc., are basically just IRC with a good front end. However, I do agree that it seems very strange that such a simple job requires so much horsepower. I'd agree on that front.
I've never quite followed that.
Yeah, I do remember the Skype days though, where like I was organising conventions and we were using Skype to communicate, and we had 20 Skype chat rooms for convention organising for the different departments and teams. And whereas, like, my God, if we'd had Discord back then, it would have been so much easier. The amount of hassle that Skype was, and this is why Skype fell flat to Discord, because I remember if at the height of my Skype usage, if I had to install Skype on a new computer, it would take literally about 30 to 60 minutes, half an hour to 3/4 of an hour or so to actually sync up. You'd install Skype, you'd log in, and you'd be waiting for nearly an hour before all of the chat rooms had actually synced up. And I'm just like, it's text. What are you doing? It's just text.
It was also the other thing that really annoyed me was the really bad way that Skype dealt with chat history.
How so?
Just the fact that the chat history was clearly saved by Microsoft.
Yeah.
But you couldn't permanently delete it properly. But then it would randomly delete itself and disappear, but then it would randomly sync back in if you signed in on a different device again. And just random crap like that. I'm like, how is this a thing?
Discord is really squicky about history as well. It's really like if you trying to delete chat history on Discord, like actually permanently delete it so it's expunged from the servers and everything, is actually surprisingly difficult. Like if you delete a server, the contents of the rooms are not deleted. They just can't be accessed anymore. But like if an image was embedded in a room and then the server is deleted, the link to that embed still works. So it hasn't been deleted.
For about 24 hours.
I think it's been seen for longer than that. Although, I might be wrong. But
also probably nothing actually ever gets deleted anyway.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's still a bit squicky. So it's just, ooh.
But it's understandable why it'd never get actually deleted anyway, because databases. And actually deleting stuff out of databases, certainly at any sort of scale, is difficult at best.
I'll take your word for that, because
you'd have to like GDPR them to actually do something, and even then they probably just go. If you had a link
to the indexes, though, because obviously you need a link to the index to be able to find anything. So if you can find it, then why can't you delete it? Why is it not that when I click delete server, the database doesn't do select all from database where server equals X, delete kind of thing?
Because what if you delete someone else's data?
Well, if it was from the server that you're deleting, or the server ID that you're deleting, so
because
I'm
saying if it goes wrong,
okay,
as well, and also because of the way stuff is referenced and things like that.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Teltac is speaking, and he actually knows about this stuff. For about 24 hours, that's the 100% nature of global systems. When you have huge systems, you need to look at eventual consistency. So, it doesn't work like that at that scale. Okay, fair enough. That's why, I'll take your word for that, Teltac. I know that databases get weird when you scale up to big. But, it seems strange to me that it's not that simple, but you work in that industry and I don't, so I'll take your word for it. On that note, I'm just going to quickly cut across to Demny BS with the $50 super chat. Have a great Christmas. No, you have a great Christmas. Thank you very much for the $50. Greatly appreciated. Merry Crimbo, everyone. Come now,
unit reverse card.
Yeah. Come now, sing with me, proper Crimbo. Right. But yes, thank you very much. However, yes, it seems to be... but yeah, it seems to be... I saw it, Spud Nugget. Get with the times. But thank you very much. But yes, no, it seems... at scale, databases get weird, and I don't understand them because I don't work in enterprise.
Yeah.
And because replication and stuff. Yeah.
So, yes, I don't understand the reasons. I just know there are reasons.
Yeah.
And I know that deleting stuff is hard. So it's kind of a case of, I just wish that possibly it was a case that it would be easier to replace that data.
Yeah.
To make it so it was less, so it wasn't like personal data, so you could just replace it with like 111111111.
Well, I mean, I guess if you can replace it, then you can delete it. So that doesn't solve the core problem, does it?
No, because if you delete it, the message is gone, and referencing that message then breaks. But if you replace that message with just 1111111 as several characters, as opposed to the private information that you shared, the message is still there.
Yeah.
So if you somehow had a screwy reference, or something. That's what I'm just thinking.
Yeah. Teltak says
But it's also
easiest if you set 2 flags. I'm assuming he's about to tell us what those flags are.
But it's also the case of obviously just don't send it in the first place.
Yeah. Yes,
It's really
true.
crappy.
Yeah. If
it's
you don't
really
want
crappy back advice.
Yeah.
But just don't send it.
Yeah. If you don't want everyone to see it, then don't put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. To delete and visible. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I guess the to delete flag means next time the system is doing garbage collection, get rid of this, and visible is obviously do not serve this if it is requested or something like that. Yes, flag to delete true and visible false. Yeah, small updates like that are quick to replicate. That makes sense. Yeah, because you're setting flags instead of doing an actual search and operate. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the other thing is possibly the only other way of doing it is I wouldn't know, but if you're really that concerned about it, is using things like Signal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it isn't stored by Signal. So that means that there are fewer records kept.
Yeah.
So
as an interesting though, it bears mention that I know that if you are actually trying to delete, if you are trying to perma-delete stuff from Discord, the best way to go about it is to, so if you want to expunge a server, is to go through each room on the server and expunge all the messages in that room, then delete all the rooms, and then delete the server. If you do it in stages like that, that makes it that gets you more deletion than just nuking the server. So just as an interest thing, I know that because I know one of our friends, Beep, did various testing on that and found that if you delete individual rooms and then delete a server, that gets rid of more. However,
of course he tested it.
Yes, because he's the kind of person that would. Yeah. However, also
he's the kind of person who'd have the reasons to.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, so that's that. Fair enough. Right. Someone asked, when do you see when you're moving into the new YouTube studio? Oh, I saw it and then it scrolled off the screen. It's gone. I guess I'll give a quick update to that. I am hoping for February. At the moment, start of February, so 1st of February, because electrical work needs to be done in the new premises, and that will not be done. That's scheduled to be done in early January, and obviously, on the assumption that gets done, I can't really move in the middle of a month because no one wants to deal with half a month's worth of rent. So unless the landlord suddenly comes over ridiculously generous and wants to give me an extra 2 weeks in the premises off the books that is not in the lease, why would you do that? But whatever, I'm going to have to wait for the start of the next calendar month. So in all probability, February at this point, which is later than I wanted it to be, but that's just where we're at. I'm heckin' ready for it, I can tell you that much, because it's chock-a-block in here. I don't have any room to move, and at this stage, I've kind of just checked out here. Like, I can't be asked to tidy up because I'm moving imminently. But yeah, when I shut down over Christmas,
the new excuse.
Shush you. However, what I am going to do though is I've got until Wednesday to get all the active repairs out of the shop, and I'm hoping. I'm not going to take on any new repairs. I'm refusing all work that comes through the door now until I have cleared the books, so I can actually do a hard reset on the shop, and hopefully that means that. If I can get all that done by Wednesday, which is, everything that is possible to be done by Wednesday, then I can actually I'm probably going to take a week or 10 days off over Christmas and actually have a Christmas holiday. Yeah, I know, right? And during that Christmas holiday, I can just I can sit at home and have a break, or I can come in here and just start boxing stuff up. And I can be in the shop tidying, not thinking, I need to start working on repairs again or anything like that. I can be like, nope, there are no repairs. All I have to do is just start shoving everything into boxes. And even if it gets to the point where I'm just going, sweep everything off of this shelf into a box without sorting, then so be it. because I can sort stuff out when I'm in the new shop and I have space. But the issue is that there's no space to put anything and there's no space to sort anything. So
the question I would ask as well of the new landlord would be if they were willing for you to have deliveries to that address before the lease officially starts, so you can have shelves in there before your lease starts.
Yeah, that'd be rad. I mean, that's not essential because I can get shelves delivered to my current shop and just carry them down there on the day or something.
But it was purely a case of, obviously, if it's just delivered there and plopped in there, you don't have to store it.
I think the first month or so of the shop will probably be that I just dump everything in the back room, because there's a front room and a back room, and the back room, which will be the recording space, at first will just be filled with boxes. And then once I've actually got the shop and I'm operating out of that premises, then I can be working on sorting stuff out from there. But none of this will be public facing until it's ready. But everyone who's on the Patreon, as soon as things start moving, I'll be posting videos and pictures of everything in action. So all the moving process, unboxing things, me planning. Like this weekend, I'm going to throw up a floor plan that just shows people what I intend, the shape of the space and what I intend to do with it and stuff like that. So you guys can start seeing my vision for what I want to achieve there. And that's all. I'm hoping to get all of that up on the Patreon this weekend. So that'll be rad. So I'm just going to step in with a couple of super chats. Analog IDC, thank you for the 5 Canadian dollary dues. Just a bloke with a silly question. Why do motherboards still ship with CDs? It's pretty much gone the way of the 8-track. I think it's just because... I think it's just for backwards compatibility, because there's still going to be some people... There's still going to be that one person who is just like, I don't have the internet and I don't want it. And I don't have any other means to obtain software. So you have to supply me with a CD. Because the kind of people who turn around and go, I don't have the internet, will be the kind of people who still have a DVD drive. So I think that's the reason why. I don't know if there's any legal reason behind it, but the thing is, CDs are so cheap to produce that it's easier for them to just lob a CD in with drivers that are a year old than it is to actually try and deal with the customers who kick off. Like, it probably costs them a couple of cents to throw a driver CD in the box. But if they have a customer who is just like, I have bought this product and you have not supplied me with the software, and that person says, I don't have the internet. And then the company is just like, well, I guess we've got to send them a flash drive or something. And then they've got to pay $20 to get a flash drive made up and post it to this person. And that $20 is probably the cost to put a CD in 10,000 boxes. So
yeah, I'd imagine
that's probably roughly the reason why.
I would imagine it's in an economy of scale thing, because stamping CDs is so cheap.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. Like, every time I open up a motherboard box, I'm just like, CD, don't even look at it, you know. It's one of the things I love about graphics cards these days is that there's nothing in the box. You open up the box, there's foam packing and a graphics card. That's it. And like,
I miss the days when it came with, you know.
I was about to say, actually, I do
stuff.
Yeah, I have to admit, I have opened some special edition graphics cards, and it's like Christmas when you open it, and you're like, oh, there's a poster, and oh, there's one of those "Do not disturb, I'm gaming, mum," you know, door cut hanger things.
1 sec.
And then I've opened special edition graphics cards where there's been a T-shirt in the box, but by the same token, that's for something that's really special, like just an average graphics card. It doesn't matter. Just give me the graphics card. I'm going to throw everything else out anyway. So yeah. And also, while we're here, I'll just also Ben Laird. I'm going to go for that.
Laird.
Okay, Ben Laird. Thank you for the £5. How you doing, my dude? Much appreciated. So yeah, as I say, special edition graphics cards are really rad, but a bog standard graphics card, don't bother. Just put a card in a box. That's all we need. So yeah.
I was just thinking more. I remember the days where you'd get a like DVI to HDMI adapter, an HDMI to DVI adapter, a DVI to VGA adapter.
Yeah. It kind of makes,
you'd get a decent quality. Like, I liked the ones where I can't remember which card it was, but one of them came with twin SATA to single 6-pin. And I was just like, it's SATA. Why have we not moved to these kind of thing? If we're going to be doing dodgy things, Molex, at least do a current connector.
Yeah. Agreed. It makes me kind of. My biggest regret of my YouTube channel is that it took me so long to actually start getting my act together, because and I know this is a sore point with you, Karadog, because you were telling me to get my act together a long time ago. But as we've had this conversation before, where, as we all know, I just wasn't ready. However, it makes me sad that in the past I've had some really, really special stuff in my shop. I've had Kingpin graphics cards. I've done Kingpin graphics card unboxings, and I knew that it was a very special graphics card. I just didn't understand how special it was at the time, and I didn't understand exactly. Like, I knew that it had lots of special features that normal graphics card didn't have, but I didn't comprehend just how out there it was. Yeah. So, and yeah, it would have. Something. Who is Lisa Sue? Am I right, lads, or am I right, lads? But yeah.
Yes, I watched that the other day, and I was just like, oh wow, your tone was terrible for that question.
I guess
because,
so.
like, I understood the way that you were asking the question, because you were asking the question: is there for those of you playing along at home? Who is Lisa Sue? That is the way that I interpreted the question there and then when you asked. The way you asked it in the video was like, what is name on graphics card?
Yeah, because I was just like, some person's name is on this graphics card. Who are they, and why is that important? Yeah, that's what I was implying. But yeah, anyway, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, at any rate, yes, Spud Nugget in there at the same time. So yeah, that's the thing. But it is what it is. We're moving on and we're growing up. I had 5,000. Well, that's the thing. That was only last summer, not this summer. But that was July 2019, wasn't it? But obviously, like that, the channel has, even though it feels like the channel has come a very long way in a very short space of time, and that is accurate in terms of subscribers and stuff like that. But it's not actually that long ago. But I don't know. It's weird. I think I'm so ready for the new shop, because I think that will be. I need a visual overhaul and a space overhaul, and like it
to get away from the dark wood.
Yeah. What currently annoys me is that, at a time when I feel like my latest videos should be my best work, I'm still in a space where the background is filled with boxes and junk and stuff like that, instead of, and that doesn't feel representative of a YouTube channel that has nearly 90,000 subscribers. And whereas I think once I'm in the new shop and all of the filming will be done, it'll be the same old counter, and there'll probably be knickknacks on the counter and stuff, but there won't be just piles of stuff around. And like the video that I shot yesterday, I finally did the Fantex P500A video, and and the thing is, I'm while I was recording that video, I was looking at the preview on the screen, and I noticed that I've got the case up on show and everything, and down there, just off of the camera shot, is the open box of the case, where I've just taken it out the box and put it on the counter, kind of thing. And it's just like, but there's nowhere else to put it. Like, one person might say, "Do you want to like put the box out of the way so it's not in shot," kind of thing, just so it doesn't look like you literally just, so it looks like you're a real channel. But I'm like, there's nowhere else to put it. There's literally nowhere else to put it. So yeah.
I think there is a fine balance, certainly because obviously you aren't a YouTube channel, if that makes sense, as a business.
Yeah.
You're a computer repair shop as a business that runs a YouTube channel.
Yeah. There's always going to be some people who appreciate the realism.
So it's a case of there will be, all of the assorted stuff from just being a live run shop as opposed to it being a film set.
Yeah.
So it's half and half. It's just a case of, I think, making sure it doesn't look like a mess and just making it look like you just don't care. I think that's the balance. Is making sure it looks like you're still invested in doing a good job.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. And like this has always been this, like in terms of like YouTube aside, just being a computer repair shop, there's always been a balance to strike. And at the moment, I'm too far down the line of grotty, and again, that's why I need a bigger shop. But there's always a balance of like some people, when you walk into an Apple store, it's incredibly clinical, and everything is a showpiece. And even though they're actual live computers that are out on display, they seem like just display pieces and toys. Even though they're the actual product that you buy, they don't feel real. And like there are plenty of places where you walk into a repair place, but there's no tools anywhere, and it's just a man in a suit behind the counter going, "Hello, madam," kind of thing. Whereas when you walk into my shop, I'll be like, "Hello, can I help you?" while I'm elbow deep in a computer fixing something. And a lot of people have said that they feel a great deal more confidence when they walk in and see that I'm in the middle of fixing stuff. They're talking to a person who actually fixes things for a living. However, you've got to find a balance of looking smart, presentable, and professional while also looking like someone who actually gets their hands dirty. And at the moment, I'm too far along the dirty hands point to the reason where people are just like, this place looks a bit unprofessional, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I need to move a little bit more toward the tidy clinical, but I do like to run a little bit of a, what's going on here, lads, because that's always been something. Look, oh come on, look.
What the hell was that accent supposed to be?
What we got here, lads. But am I wrong though? That that people like a bit.
Well then.
Well, Colin Firth does it. That's Colin Firth's entire shtick.
Yes. The difference is that's his real accent.
Okay, it could. I had the worst outtake in the world from the Corsair 4000D video. When I was doing we finished the walk around, let's build a computer up in this. You got it. I said the worst thing in the world. I was just like, and I was looking at the camera, I was like, right, we're going to cut to the montage. I'll build this up, we'll put on some fancy music. And I was just like, no, we're retaking that. We're never ever going to do that again. This is getting cut from the video. And I'd forgotten I'd done it. And then when I was editing the video, I watched it back and I was just like, the fudge was I thinking? This is why I don't do live. This is why we don't do live recordings. This is why we do pre-recorded, edited. So when I say something catastrophically stupid, I can just retake the line and cut it in editing, So... Are you okay, Karadog?
Whatever possessed you to think that was a good idea?
This is what ad-libbing is. This is what happens when you run with no script. Now and then you're waffling all the time, no downtime. That's the point.
What was this about me saying, maybe you should have some outlines for your videos?
Outtakes video one day. I never keep it because it's hassle, but I should do. But yeah. Bad lines make it human rather than everything looking like everything is staged. Yeah, exactly that. Again, there's a balance to be struck. There's a balance of there is a balance to be struck of being when it's too scripted, then people aren't invested because they're just like, oh yeah, they planned that, they knew that was going to happen, kind of thing. Whereas if you don't script enough, then you end up with EEV blog. So there's a halfway point. There's a halfway point of having an idea of what you're doing and keeping things on topic and focused while not literally reading from a script. So yeah, and a lot of people don't like scripted. Yeah, so again, you need to have outlines, and that's the thing, especially when I'm doing like case reviews and stuff like that, where it's very easy for me to waffle on for half an hour before I've even taken the side panel off. There are occasions where I will waffle for half an hour and then literally just be like, no, stop recording, start recording, and just start again. And then I'll say everything that I just said, but in 10 minutes instead of 30 minutes, and that's often how I refine things. Actually, is just doing retakes essentially. But you can't do that on a repair, which is the difficult bit. When you're repairing stuff, you get one shot at it. So yeah,
opportunity.
And also sometimes some videos require that first impressions. And sometimes you need that discovery where you are seeing it for the first time and your reaction is just like, oh, okay, for the first time, But, I do waffle, but we like it, yeah.
Oh, look, it's burnt. It's very burnt.
What's burnt?
The Dell XPS video.
Oh, yes, that, yeah. Yeah. That was, yeah.
Or just the Dust Mites video. Just,
Ooh.
What the...
Yeah.
Yes.
Do. Yes.
But I feel there is the possibility of some tighter preparation.
Yeah. I need to practice with I want to practice with the format of some things as well. Like the Fantex P500A, I'm pointing over there because it's over there. Here's a free preview for everyone, which Karadog won't be able to see because he's seeing a different camera. There's the Fantex P500A in the corner there. I looked at that. I was building that yesterday. That was worth the wait, that case. The Fantex P500A is a really nice case. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. It's still big, but it's not obnoxious. However, yeah, I recorded that in my usual format of talk about it for about 20 minutes, then do a 5-minute montage of building it, then talk about it for another 5 or 10 minutes, close out the video. However, what I want to try and do, I want to try and do a case review where I talk about the case as I build in it. But the problem is that's very difficult to do because a lot of the time the building is very long, convoluted, whereas a lot of building a computer is just wiring, which is very boring to watch. And it's very difficult for me to commentate while I'm doing that. And also, like, while I'm building in the case, I can't show bits of it. I can't keep moving the camera as I build in it. It might be doable if I had a dedicated cameraman who could be moving around and looking at it from different angles while I build in it. But because I'm solo, that's just not possible. But I need to try testing that format to see if it works. I need to wait until I've got a case I need to wait until I've got a case that I'm reviewing for the sake of it. It's not a case that I'm particularly excited about. It's just one that I happen to have in the shop, and I'm just going to make a video about it because content, and then I'll test it then. I think. So yeah.
Strap GoPros to your wrists.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, I don't know about that. Could always do the old headcam approach, but nah. Chris Kingan, thank you very much for the $10. You always look forward to the stream. Thanks, my dude. I greatly appreciate it. So yes.
2 hours of unadulterated waffle.
Yes. Well, on that note, I actually want to. I think I'm going to bring this up just as a quick chat, gauge it with the audience as well. Is should we make I mentioned this to you before, Karadog, but I have considered saying, should we make this a every other week thing and do it every other week instead of every week? What would people think about that? Because I'm concerned that we do the every week is too often for this show, and we should do it every other week maybe. What I don't know. Or we could. I'm concerned that there's still I get at least 1 or 2 comments a week of people going, "Oh, all you ever do is the podcast now," because they're not seeing the videos, kind of thing. I
think the issue is partially as well that YouTube wants to see content from you basically every day to push you.
Yeah.
To actually push you out. They want to see content from you basically every day or every other day.
Yeah.
So I think it's a case that if you're only releasing 1 video a week, you're kind of not going to get pushed on that front as well anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, the chat is a resounding "no, we like it every week" as well, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think if you manage to, in your new shop, go to say 2 videos a week plus this,
yeah, that would be.
You could do so you could do a month. So you could do like a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Yes, that would
sort
work.
Of video content for the channel. I think that would help resolve the issue as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it just feels particularly rough at the moment because I've been very busy over the past month, which means I'm struggling to get 1 video out a week at the moment. Like, again, I haven't put a video out this week because the last one was Saturday, and I haven't actually edited a video. There's no video ready for later today. I'm gonna edit the webcams video that I shot a couple of weeks ago now. I'm gonna get that edited and throw that out because that I can quickly edit that and toss it up on the channel and be like, there, video done this week. However, right now I'm focused on just getting everything out the door for Christmas, so I don't want to put up the P500A video because we did the last video was a case review, so I don't want to do 2 case reviews in a row. So yeah, I need to. I'm just going to throw up the webcam video, but yeah, I think it's just rough at the moment just because busy. Whereas in the new year, again, new shop, won't have the backlog. It's entirely possible that I'll be able to get back up to 2 actual videos a week, plus the podcast. And yeah, I think you're right. That would balance it.
I think that, and I think also it's a case that, making use of this as well, and the fact that there's the Discord is a case of when you are in a new shop is going, what do people have for stuff to do videos about? And actually engage the 80,000 people who are subscribed and say, what stuff do you have for me to do videos about?
Yep, that is true.
Here is my address. Send stuff to me for me to do videos about, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
And just leverage the fact that you have an audience of a small town.
Yeah, it feels bad to take advantage of the audience and be like, send me free stuff. But the thing is the fact remains is there are plenty of people out.
Sorry, I wasn't explicitly meaning send me physical items. I'm sorry, I was meaning that send me your messages with stuff to do for videos.
Yeah, that as well.
Sorry, that's what I was meaning, not post me free stuff because audience. But yeah.
Yeah. So yes, agreed with that. But get ideas from the audience, because people do suggest stuff in the comments. They do say, "Oh, could you look at this case?" and stuff like that. And I need to do that. And I think, again, this will be easier in the new shop, because the reason why I can't do that is I don't want to make a video about something unless it's something that's an active shop job. Like, the reason why the P500A video got done is because I've sold the case. I've just used it in a build. That's the reason why I actually finally got around to doing that. Like, I was fully expecting that P500A to stay sealed in a box until next year. At this point, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that after Christmas now." However, I had someone who needed a computer built in time for Christmas, and I was just like, "Right, this computer has to be done this week." And it just so happened that P500A was more or less exactly the kind of case they wanted, and I'm just like, "I've got just what you need, sir. It's in the back room, And so I had an excuse to use it. So that's why that one finally got done. Whereas when I'll have space, because I'll have so much more space in the new shop, I'll be able to have space to just buy something, unbox it, put it on the desk, and just and just get round to it whenever I'm ready. Whereas right now, if something is not an active job in the shop, it has to be taken down and put in a box and put out of the way, because there is not space to have stuff just out. If it's not being used, it cannot be on the bench because there is not enough space for it. So I need a new shop. I need a new shop really badly.
Absolutely. I was also just thinking the other stuff you could do is just do like, you know how you did streams of the soldering kits and stuff. Yeah. You're just doing stuff like that as part of a kind of a beginner's electronics course.
I really want to do more of those. The difficulty is like the reason why I haven't done any more of the kit building streams is there aren't any good kits. The main reason is no one's shipping stuff. But hopefully, I really hope that in the new year, as soon as the old Rona has buggered off and shipping eases up and we start getting the fire hose of tat out of China again, I can start buying tat and building kits and stuff. Because I agree. I think I would love to be doing those. I just don't have anything to build at the moment.
Yeah. I also think the other thing that could be quite useful, not necessarily as a great sort of content video specifically for sort of pushing it out there, but is doing just videos going over stuff that you have. So, things that you use. So going out, here is the multimeter kit that I got. Here is the capture card that I use. Yeah. I'm not saying that these are good ones to get. These are just the ones that I have.
That's one thing that I'd like to do,
actually. Through the stuff that you've got.
As part of the... with the new shop, there's kind of 2 series of videos that I want to do with that. The first series will be the moving vlog, which is just simply me recording the moving process, which again will be Patreon subscribers only, so people can just be part of the move and just see it all in action. And like eventually there will be a reveal video which everyone will see. However, people can see it and just see it get built up and stuff like that. And what I want to do is after that, I want to do a series of videos that are essentially that will be a sort of building a new repair shop, where I do a video saying, right, one of the things that I need in my shop as a daily thing is a computer for testing and backing up hard drives. So this is the computer that I have built for testing and backing up hard drives. This is what I use. This is how I do it. Again, it's not necessarily the best, but this is what I'm doing. These are ideas. And so when people, when people say, oh, I want to start my own repair shop, but I don't know what I need, I can be like, I can point to that playlist of videos and be like, here's videos that show the tools I use. Because like, I couldn't do my entire toolkit in a single video now. There's too much to cover. So I would do separates to go, here's the screwdrivers I use. Here's the power tools. I don't have many power tools because it's a computer shop, but obviously there are some power tools. I have a Dremel in the shop. Now and then I take a Dremel to stuff because that's what you need sometimes, and be like, here.
He says, opening up the video of my computer being Dremeled.
Yeah. And it's just like, here is the rig that I make here is the new recording setup, which is still the same old computer, but here is how I have set it all up on the new counter. And now I've got enough space to be able to put stuff wherever I want it to be, rather than the only place I can put it because that's the only place where there's space. Here is my ideal setup. And like, I was having a conversation with someone where they said, oh, there's a hum on your microphone that I can't bear. Can you sort that out? And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry about that. I'd love to. However, I'm moving in a month. I'm not going to overhaul my microphone stand setup because I'm moving in a month.
Yeah,
when I move into the new shop, I will completely overhaul the microphone setup, and it will be on a nice stand. It won't be sitting on the desk, so it won't be picking up bangs and thumps when I put things down on the desk and stuff like that. However, no, I'm not doing that now because I'm moving in a month, and I'll have to do it all over again anyway.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but I'll make a video where I'll be like, right, here's the new camera and mic setup, and like again, there in the new shop there is likely to be two sets. There is probably going to be a repair bench set, which will be more or less what I have at the moment with the webcam set up. And then there will be a studio setup, which is where I do like case reviews and big things like that, where I actually want a professional looking things. There'll be both. Someone mentioned in chat, don't be like one of those YouTube studios where it's just all studio and fake kind of thing. Kind of. I'm going to do a blend. I'm going to do a mix of both. There will be a studio space. So when I actually want to put something on show, I've got a professional space to show it off in. However, a lot of the repair stuff will still be done on the same grotty bench with a pile of screws and wires next to me, because that is what a live repair bench looks like, you know.
I do kind of feel that you should splash out and treat yourself to a new, better bench, because your bench is kind of limiting.
And that's very diplomatic. Are you saying that my bench is shit?
No, because I'm attempting to avoid demonetization.
Shih Tzu Terrier. Are you saying my bench is a small dog?
Because I noticed that last week's video got demonetized as well.
What? The podcast?
Yeah.
God damn it. We're literally not allowed to swear. Okay. Yeah. I will be more careful. I thought we were allowed to drop one now and then, but yeah, fine.
No. But I was also just thinking about one that is significantly deeper.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean that will happen because initially I will reuse the benches that I have right now, but ultimately I will want something bigger. Yeah, and yes, a deeper bench would be nice. I think what I will probably do, because my current bench is an L shape. Can I show it on camera? I think I can. Hold on. My current bench, I'm going to have to go to a full screen. Hang on a sec, I'm going to cut you off, you. What do we need? Bench cam. So that's the repair bench at the moment. And as you can see, it's an L shape. We've got this down here, which is where I'm sitting at the moment. And then over there, that's the front part of the bench from where I stand, where I'm addressing customers. And then the door is there. So door, customers stand on the mat. I address them there. And this is where I'm doing the repairs. So that gives you an idea of the current setup. Oh no, I'm dragging things. Hold on. Podcast split. So that's what we've got at the moment. So the bench is an L shape. What I will probably do is I'll split the bench. I'll split the bench so I have just two bits of straight bench, because I can split them up because it's two pieces that are pushed together and screwed together. So I will. I'll split it, and I'll have one of these will just be my front customer service desk that will be in the front part of the shop. And the other one I'll probably put in the back room to be the YouTube studio bench. And then I'll have another bench that will be a big trestle table. And that will be the repair bench. And yeah, I'll get something nice and deep. So then I'll have space to put all of my lab equipment, my bench power supply, my soldering equipment, an oscilloscope. We'll be able to put all of that up on the bench along the back. Whereas at the moment, it has to be under the bench, where A, it's hard to get to, and B, I can't show it to anyone while I'm using it. It's really annoying at the moment that, I can't show off any of the equipment that I've got because it's all under the bench. So yeah, I will do something of that ilk.
You'll get there.
Yes. Right. Let's see. I'm going to quickly back scroll the chat because there was loads of good stuff that I wanted to respond to, and I'm going to quickly read a sec. Anything you want to talk about while I quickly go over things? Otherwise, I'll let's see.
No, I don't think so.
No. Do customers ever bring in consoles? Now and then, I have a quick look at consoles. I actually have a console in for repair at the moment from a friend, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But I'm. And also, I've got another switch in for a charger port replacement. So I'm dabbling. I kind of want to get into Switch repair because Switches are actually not that difficult to work on. I'm dragging my feet over it a bit, but I kind of want to get into Nintendo Switch repairs because I think there's a market there, and I think that's something that I'm actually capable of doing. There's loads of spares available. 7 Gaming bought a Corsair 275 Airflow today based on the review and build. Good stuff, my dude. Enjoy it. I still like that case. It's a bit of a Marmite front panel on it. Some people like it, some people don't. I liked it. I think it's a good case. Hope you enjoy it. Let's see.
I think the thing that would also be good for you to get into the habit of is making sure that you've got links to the stuff in your videos.
Yeah, got to do the links. It's so much legwork doing all the support links, the affiliate links. But yeah, it helps a lot. It does help a lot. Like the Amazon links and stuff like that. The return rate on Amazon affiliate links is really freaking high. You know, like when I actually showcase something and I say, hey, I bought this, I think it's pretty neat, here's a link to buy it down below. You know, you get the return on those is really quite decent. So I need to do that. And again, it's a matter of, I don't like with the heckin' electric screwdriver, cheap ass electric screwdriver. I've featured this in loads of videos. It's still going strong. I still really like this thing. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's crap. And just because there's something better doesn't mean that it, you know, like I'm always worried that I'm shilling tools. When I provide affiliate links, I'm always worried that people are going to say, oh, you're just shilling a crap item to get that affiliate link money kind of thing. I'm like, no, like I tested this thing for a week before I made a video about it. I held off making the video for a week because I wanted to make sure it wouldn't die. And yeah, when I made that video, that was still my genuine reaction to it. To
a degree, I think it doesn't matter whether people say that or not, because people will say that whether it's founded or otherwise.
That's true, yeah.
If you are genuinely using the equipment and you genuinely get a benefit from using that equipment, I see absolutely no reason you shouldn't provide a link to where people can get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It, to me, seems disastrously stupid to give up that opportunity to get an additional income source on something someone already wanted to buy.
Yeah, and also just providing people with a means to buy something at that I think is good value. Because like also sometimes I'll buy sometimes I will showcase something that I didn't buy from Amazon. I found an Amazon link for it, which is easier to share, and an affiliate link. But I have done affiliate links where I've said, here's an affiliate link, be aware you can find this cheaper in other places. And it's a case of, here's a direct link to it. You can buy me you can buy it from here, and
you can buy me.
Yeah, you can buy it from this link, and it supports the channel. However, this is available cheaper on other websites if you go looking for it. You know, I'm not going. I'm not going to pretend this is cheaper, but it's more convenient and it supports the channel. It's up to you.
Yeah.
You know, I have made you aware that this is not the best price. However, if it is the best price, then that's a great thing, and I can say, look, here it is on Amazon. I think it's at a good price there. And also, I also want to try and reach out to some other places. I was seriously considering. I kind of want to talk to somewhere like scan.co.uk and say to Scan, hey, look, I've got a sizable YouTube channel now. Can we do business? Like, I'm not sure what we want to do. I don't know if it's going to be an affiliate link or whether you guys want to send stuff for review, and I can be like, scan.co.uk have sent me one of these. You can buy it from Scan here today, kind of thing. Something along those lines. You know, I don't know what, but I kind of want to talk to someone. I like Scan a lot. I like them as a website. I like them as a company, and I kind of want to talk to them and say, hey, let's do something. I don't know what, but I'm sure that we can come up with some way that we can come to a deal that is mutually beneficial. You can send me some cool stuff that you guys have access to that I can't get, and I have an audience. You know, like I know that Scan are big and that Scan are sponsoring lots of streamers and stuff like that. However, I don't know. Maybe they're interested in working with a YouTube channel like me.
It's you saying about Scan and so on. I try when I'm buying stuff to buy stuff from lots of other places as well. So, you know, supporting as many of the websites and so on that sell computer parts in the UK.
Yeah.
Just in the sense of obviously trying to make sure that the market doesn't end up being dominated by just Amazon and its atrocious search engine.
Yeah.
I would like to buy a 3070. Have you considered buying a 1080 Ti? No.
Yeah.
No. Let me try that again. 3070. Would you like to buy this GT 710? No, Amazon. No, I wouldn't.
Searching for stuff on Amazon is like speaking a different language, isn't it? Like, we know how to find stuff on Amazon, but if you said to someone, oh, just search it on Amazon, when you're saying that, you know in your head that it's not that simple, you know? Just, yeah. And it's just
it's just,
I search Amazon for X570 motherboard, and I'm getting results for Intel motherboards, and I'm like, that's not. That's not like it's not that that's not even the chipset that I'm searching for. It's not even a compatible product, and just right.
Is yes, very much a case of the search result. The search is poor at best. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
It's fine when you know explicitly the full title of the thing that you're looking to buy a lot of the time. But other than that, it's a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking for something a bit more generic, I think it's also the fact that we're looking for specifically for like computer parts and so on, which are quite specific. Because I've not had the same issue when searching for more generic things, like searching for pen ink, for example, or searching for laminator sheets and things like that. Generic stationary stuff I've never had an issue with.
That's what Amazon was designed for, wasn't it? That's the thing. Because conversely, earlier on today, I bought a keyboard and mouse from Scan because they had an appropriate keyboard and mouse that I needed for a build in stock, and Amazon didn't. And when I went to Scan, and I was just like, I want to look at Corsair keyboards and mice. The search term obviously wanted me to specify a product, and I'm like, well, I don't know what model I'm looking for. I just want a keyboard and mouse made by Corsair. So what I had to do was I had to go to the menu and go keyboards, and then it came up with what kind of keyboards, like gaming keyboards or mechanical keyboards.
I find Scan's website is slightly difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
when you're not going, I want this one.
And I'm like, I'm not sure whether I want a gaming keyboard or a mechanical keyboard. I want to see all of them and decide which one look at the prices. So then you have to do, okay, well, view all. And then I have to go through and say, just show me Corsair stuff because I want it to be by Corsair because I'm looking for that particular brand for brand scheming and stuff like that. And so on. So to that extent, Scan's website is very awkward. However, but then on the other hand, when I needed to look up the price of like the Corsair 4000D, and I could, Scan were out of stock, so I was like, okay, Amazon were out of stock, so I went to Scan, and in the search part, I put in 4000D, and it popped up with the Corsair 4000D. And I'm just, so when you know what you're looking for, it's bang on. But if you just want to browse because you don't know what you want and you just want to just show me some products that I can browse through. Give me a shelf of things to peruse. That's when Amazon is actually fairly good. But then on the other hand, of course, when it's something like a motherboard, there's no guarantee that the items you're perusing are actually appropriate for what you're trying to achieve. So then you need expertise and...
Absolutely. But yes, it's certainly the case of I like the category searches on like Scan and eBay.
Sometimes this you narrow it down, yeah.
Yeah, and it works well.
Certainly, you could say just show me all all AM4 motherboards, and then at that point you know that you're buying a motherboard that will be compatible with the CPU that you already have. Yeah. Asterisk, but yeah.
So yes. I just like the specificity that's possible on that, which is very useful.
Yeah.
So.
Graham, do you think it's worth starting to make high-end PC cases? Lots of people go down that route. There's lots of people who are interested in tech that are just like, I want to make my own case and maybe sell it to people. You'd have to hand make them. Because you have access to manufacturing. If you had access to a workshop, a metal workshop, and you could buy sheet aluminium and fold and drill and manufacture it yourself, you could make a high-end custom computer case of your own design for boutique computers and sell it. That would be possible. I don't know if it would need to be a bit of a labor of love. I don't know if you could do it for a living or anything like that.
You would have to be in the £5,000 a case, 2 cases sold a year
Yeah, that's.
category, basically.
Have we spoken about this on the
We've
show
spoken
before?
about this before. There was a person
Yeah.
in Hungary who was asking the question.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of a case of you'd have to be selling for boutique customers who are where money is no object, but they want something that is entirely unique kind of deal. Perhaps even custom one-off jobs where you have a cage that you have designed, and then you allow people to customize the front panel in a way that they see fit, and you will make that for them because you've got a CNC machine and you can just run their design into your CNC machine and it will cut and shape it all, and then you bolt that onto the cage. Something along those lines. So yeah, don't quit your day job, but if you have access to metalworking facilities, I would definitely experiment with it. However, if you don't have any experience in construction and metalworking and stuff like that, it's probably a lot harder than you think, is all I'll say about that. Which is, I'm not saying don't follow your dreams, but as I say, don't quit your day job. And that phrase, it's not meant in a derogatory manner. I'm just saying, I mean literally, make sure it's not your only source of income. Basically,
yes.
Don't quit your day job means this is not going to be this is not going to be a sustainable income for you in the immediate future. You know, in the same way that when someone says, I want to start a YouTube channel, I'm like, go for it. Don't quit your day job, though. You know, quit your day job when the YouTube channel is making you a 1,500 quid a month. That's when you can quit your day job. You know, however, until it is paying out, don't say, oh, I can go for a year, and as long as I hit 50,000 subscribers within a year, it'll then pay my wages. It's like, do not rely on that. That's a recipe for disaster. No one who is successful went down that route. Well, I mean, broadly speaking, anyway. Most of the successful YouTube channels, myself included, were doing it as a labour of love. For the first couple of years of this, I mean, I don't know when, I couldn't put it on a pin, but probably at least for the first 2 or 3 years, this channel made no money whatsoever. And then for years like 4 and 5, it was probably like, it was less than £100 a month kind of thing. And I'm just like, well, yeah, awesome. That pays the broadband bill, but no, it's not a job, not by a long shot. And no, it's not worth the time I invest in it, not by a long shot. I do it because I enjoy doing it. However, now the channel has expanded and blown up and become successful, I say in massive air quotes. Now it is something that can actually pay for things, hence the new shop. However, obviously, I would never dream of investing money in the YouTube channel until it had reached this point, because I know I'm not going to see a return on it. So, yeah.
Yes, I think it also depends on kind of where you are as well in the YouTube sphere, because obviously investing money to set up a new channel when you already have an audience makes sense. Like your LTT, your Gamers Nexus, your Marcus, something like that, your MKHB, you're raking in 10 million views in a day sort of thing.
Yeah.
You go, we're investing in a new channel. Everyone who watches our videos, go watch this other channel as well. Even if you only get 1% of people going across in the first month, that's still huge viewer numbers, and it will pay for itself in the first month.
And also,
that's obviously a very rare one-off situation.
Yeah, and they're also playing very different games with the YouTube algorithm and statistics. Like, for example, like Linus Tech Tips as a channel is in a very interesting place where obviously they're running a very expensive operation that is profitable, but it's profitable as long as they continue to succeed. And like, for example, the story of Short Circuit, the channel, is very interesting, because the reason why they started Short Circuit is because Linus Tech Tips, they can't afford to do videos on a whim. They can't afford to throw out a video going, we don't know about this, but we'll just chuck it up and see how it does, because that could make a massive ripple in their numbers, which would be disastrous for them. Now, for me, I can throw out a video now and then. I can throw out a dud video that I'm going to be like, this isn't my best, but it's a video, it's content, who cares? I can do that. LCT can't. So they made Short Circuit as a dedicated channel for testing the waters on things. And when they do a video on Short Circuit that does really well, they know that they can make a product on the main channel about a video about that product on the main channel, and it will perform well. So it's their proving grounds. And that the success of Short Circuit as a channel has virtually no impact on Linus Tech Tips because it's a different channel. So that's they're playing 4D chess with the numbers, whereas for this channel, I am at the point where, like I've spoken earlier on, how I'm juggling numbers with trying to gauge live content versus recorded content. That's the stage I'm up to, where I have to consider very carefully when I release a video to make sure that it doesn't overlap with the podcast and vice versa. But that's small things. It doesn't really it doesn't. And also, likewise, there are some videos where, like, now and then, at least once a month or so, I have to make a video that I am absolutely confident in. Otherwise, I will start seeing decline in the numbers. I can't keep throwing out junk content that I'm doing for the sake of a video. Now and then I have to do a video where that video was engineered for views. And you can generally tell when I'm making a video that I am aiming at the wider audience, because I'll introduce things and say things that I know my audience knows full well already. Who is calling me? My mother is calling me. Sorry, Mum. I'm busy. Mom, I'm doing my podcast! So,
hold on. I have the sticker for this. There we go.
Yeah. Oh my God, you've got one. You've got one. We made the joke earlier.
Got the full sheet.
What's the point in having a sticker of it?
Because Gigabyte could.
Yeah.
Basically, because they could.
Anyway.
My other one, my X470 board, actually has a cardboard hanger.
Yeah, okay. Where was I? Yeah, so like that, as I say, now and then you can tell when I'm doing a video that's aimed at a wider audience, because I will, I'll be acting like you've never watched my video before, basically, and that's because and a classic case of this was when I was doing the a really good example of this was the Xbox One S SSD video, where I replaced a hard drive in an Xbox One S. I mean, that video was a breakout video. However, I wasn't expecting it to be quite as successful as it was. But when I did that video, I knew that video was going to get views. When I was recording it, I knew this was a video that was going to perform well, because replacing a hard drive on an Xbox, come on, loads of people are going to be searching for that. So that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ideally, once a month or so, I need to do a video which I know is going to perform well, just to make sure I keep nudging up the channel by putting out videos that have a high probability of being a breakout video. Now, I'm not going to do this on all videos, because A, I can't do that on all videos. I don't have that much content. And B, it's also nice to do videos that are a love letter to the subscribers now and then. It's nice to do videos that are more aimed at my usual audience who know me, and say sort of, this is one for you guys that I think you guys are interested in. So
absolutely.
Again, it's trying to do a balance. I swear, if that's my... I'm not going to answer that, but I bet that's my mum going, he didn't pick up his mobile, so I'll call his work phone instead. Continue.
I was just going to say, you were saying about like that Xbox One S video specifically. It's done 2.2 million minutes of watch time.
I thought you were going to say 2.2 million views then. I'd be like, what? But yeah, sorry.
Not quite. But like the next highest video is on something like 240,000.
Oh, wow. Holy crap. Yeah. Man, I want to open... Hang on a second. I'm going to open up my channel now and just see if that's on the top videos. It must be. Oh.
No, by number of views, it isn't. Number of views, it's still cleaning the Apple trackpad from like 85 years ago.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's been around since the dawn of time, that video, which is why it's so high, yeah. Yeah, good grief. Yeah, that one's on... Oh, that's about 500,000 views now, yeah. Oh, it's the third most viewed video, though.
Yeah.
It is the third on popular uploads. Yeah.
It's just... Oh, dear.
Interesting. So, how about that? How about them apples?
Apples?
Yeah. But yes. Let's see. We're running out of time. We need one more topic to do, I think. Switch videos may do well. Yeah, that's the other reason why I want to get into Nintendo Switch videos, because I think those will perform well as well.
Absolutely. You could always take the very dangerous option of buying like 1,000 Xbox and PlayStations off of eBay.
I refuse.
Do those videos.
Do people like that? Well, I mean, they must do, because
those videos get buttloads of watches.
Yeah, but
watches.
Yeah, I would like to do. I think I'd like to do gamble videos where I buy broken stuff on eBay and see if I can fix it. Like at the moment, there's like what was it? Hang on a second, I'm gonna look it up.
The motherboards that Spud finds.
Yeah, I was gonna say Spud Nugget did link a motherboard on eBay the other day, and I did actually put a bid on that because it probably just needs a BIOS flash. Yeah, I was a B350. Oh yeah, no, I don't care about that. Well, I might do it anyway because again, it'll be a good video. Am I gonna bid? Yeah, am I gonna bid on this? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to show it on. I won't show it on stream actually because everyone else will buy it just to troll me. Everyone else will bump up the price. Or actually, well, I don't even know if I want this because it's a B350. No, I don't want this because it's a B350.
It's fine. You can sell it to Postal for £250.
Oh, oof.
Based on how he likes buying 11.
Oh, I don't have HDMI plugged in. I won't show you what it is because I don't have the HDMI cable plugged in. There's an MSI B350 Tomahawk on eBay for spares only after a failed BIOS upgrade. So basically, all it needs is someone to just desolder the BIOS chip, flash it in an EEPROM programmer, and put it back on the board, and that thing will probably light up again. And that's got to be worth £20, right, for an AM4 motherboard that you could stick a 3600 in. Well, yeah, sure. For a 3600, who cares?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, stick that in a cheap gaming rig, and that would be nice. And it's a Tomahawk, so it's a good not it's good not bad. Yeah, good enough. So I think I will bid on that again. It's currently it's £8.50 plus £4.10, so it's 12. It's just coming up to £15. I'll probably take another punt at that and just say, I'll pay £20 including postage. But like more stuff like that, I kind of want to just chance something on the cheap and say, I chanced it on the cheap. Let's see if we can fix it, kind of thing. And like motherboards with bent pins and stuff like that, and just see how we go. So yeah, yeah. Let's see.
I can't remember whose channel it was, but I watched one of those videos where they bought like 10 or 15 dead Xboxes.
I've seen them around.
GameStop? I think it was GameStop.
Yeah.
Where like GameStop was like, we've repaired these consoles and they are not working anymore.
Yeah.
And it was basically just 2 videos of going, GameStop have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. Because this is the thing. There's always going to be stuff out there. There's always going to be stuff out there which is an easy fix. It's just hard to track it down. Because that's the problem. Like a lot of the time, like a lot of motherboards that are on a lot of stuff that is on eBay as spares repairs is being sold because it's a lost cause, and the only reason why it sells for anything at all is for people who are buying it thinking that they'll be able to fix it. And like buying a fixer-upper is a terrible idea on its face unless you're genuinely really good. If you're really talented, it works. But if you're learning, fixer-uppers are probably not a good place to start. You might learn something, but you're not going to make your money back. So
it's like people who buy the £500 second-hand cars and are just like, or should I say 83rd-hand cars?
Yeah,
they're just like, oh no, it's fine, it's a fixer-upper. And I'm like, unless you are genuinely
buy one that works in the first place.
Yeah, unless you are genuinely running a car repair shop, unless that is your day job, you are actually a mechanic.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a case that it's probably even then not worth it because you'll make more money just by fixing someone else's car.
Yeah.
And charging them money. as opposed to the time you'll lose.
Yeah. Chris Kingan said, "How's about some awesome AliExpress only builds?" I don't think I would do AliExpress or Wish only builds, but what I would like to do is, I might have mentioned this on channel before, but I might steal a friend's idea. One of my old work experience students used to buy stuff from eBay China for £1. He would buy like a £1 mouse and just see how bad it was, kind of thing. And I guess in a way it's kind of like, and I'd like to do something similar to that, where it's kind of like Big Clive, where I just buy really cheap stuff and take it apart or whatever. But I would actually review it rather than show how it works. I mean, I'd probably do a teardown just to show what's in the inside. Yeah. Oof. But yeah, something along those lines, and just say, look, we bought the cheapest gaming mouse money could buy. How bad is it? Because I like buying cheap things to see how bad they are. That's why I bought the electric screwdriver.
The keyboards.
Yeah, I bought a cheap electric screwdriver to see if it was actually any good, and it turned out to be really good. And like, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff where I'm just like, yeah, it's really bad. I bought the cheapest one on the market, and no surprises, it's awful. But now and then, there's going to be a diamond in the rough where you buy something and you're like, yeah, it's cheap and the build quality is bad, but it gets the job done. It proves that you absolutely don't need to spend, like when case in point, these showed up today. Capture cards. These are the AliExpress capture cards.
Hey.
Showing them to Hughes.
I'll be honest and say that the black box looked way more like a Samsung SSD.
It is not. It is not an SSD. Also, flashbacks to me spending £1,100 on Samsung SSDs. Anyway, but yeah. So I've got two HDMI capture cards from AliExpress that cost like $10 and $30 respectively, that are allegedly 4K pass through and 1080p 60 frames a second capture, and I'm going to test them. Because, there's been a couple of people who said, oh yeah, they're fine, these are usable. And I'm like, I'll be the judge of that. However, if these turn out to actually be any good, even if all they have to do is not be bad, they don't have to be better than Ava Media or something like that. They just have to be not awful. And then I've got friends who are getting into game streaming and they're like, I want a capture card, but I can't afford to spend £120 on a capture card. And if one of these is not too shabby, I can be like, buy this from AliExpress. It's not the best, but it will work and it will be fit for your purpose, which is exactly what it's what I did with the webcams video that I'm going to edit and put out tonight. It's going to be a case of, no, these webcams there's no way these webcams are going to stack up against Logitech. However, Logitech webcams currently cost twice what they should cost right now. So if you want a webcam right now and you don't want to pay the daylight robbery prices that the Logitech webcams are currently at, what are your options? And how bad is the next available option? So yeah. So that's about
Just
that.
to jump into the chat very quickly.
Yeah.
Contacting Graham is the worst option.
Yes. Yes, I was about to say, I can see that people are trying to get hold of me. I am unobtainable. You cannot get hold of me. The answer to that is I get too many emails a day to keep up with the rest of my workload. I'm going to try and get better at that in the new year. However, right now I don't do mail-in repairs. So if you want to send me something to fix, you can't. You cannot bring me something to fix unless you can drive to my shop and walk through my front door. No, I won't fix it for you, is the short answer. I would like to be able to do mail order repairs. However, my business is not in a position to be able to do that. I don't have the manpower for it.
Is Spud looking for a new job?
To be honest, I would love to take on someone as enthusiastic and intuitive. Like, not gonna lie, Spud is the kind of person where I'd be like, yeah, if you want, I'll give you a job. But Spud actually has a really cool job already, and I wouldn't want to try and poach him because I'm just like,
I'll give you a packet of M&Ms and a Kit Kat.
Do not quit your day job to work for me, Spud. That's a terrible idea. Your job is so much better than working for me. You get to work with way cooler stuff than I do right now. So yeah, as I say, no, do not quit your day job, Spud. So Um, but yeah, as I say, at some point next year, I want to be in a place like. Also, like, we're at the season. I had a letter show up in the post today of people wanting work experience. It's that season where all the schools want to send their year 10 students to work experience. And I'm just like, well, yeah, by the time July comes around, I will probably be interested in doing work experience students. And I will
take all of your students.
Yes, and they will be free labour. So, also, I'll be able to train them. Now, I mean, they'll get free training, but also it's free labour. So yes,
they will become the most highly trained tea makers.
Yeah. Hey, I've never given my work experience students crap jobs. I've never said to my work experience students, "Go and get the coffee."
Why not? Because it's a valuable skill, knowing how to make a decent cup of tea.
True.
It will make you loved in an office.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I should be doing an apprenticeship.
I say that as someone who works in an office. If someone new, fresh out of school, came in and said, "I actually know how to make a good cup of tea, and I'm more than happy to make a cup of tea for the office when it's the round," they would actually carry a lot of favour in the office, and people would be far more willing to put up with cock-ups.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, when I've got space, I'll have work experience students, and then when I've got more manpower and more time, at that point I shall probably say, right, I'll take on mail order repair. However, I have dabbled in mail order repair this year, and it hasn't gone well. All of the mail order repairs I've done are behind schedule. You know, like, I mean, Postal knows this. I've got a PS3 from Postal that's been sitting on the shelf for weeks that I haven't gotten around to yet. And I feel bad about it. I've got a laptop that has been here for weeks that I haven't even taken out the box yet. I've forgotten why it's here, you know, because I have too much to do. It's just the way it is at the moment, and because I have tested this and discovered that I cannot keep up with it. So I've said, no, I'm not doing mail order repairs. I'm not capable of doing this right now. However, that is the obvious progression to go into. And I will, so it is something that I'll be moving toward, but right now I cannot do it. As I say, full disclosure, I am not in a place to be doing mail order repairs right now. So therefore the answer is no. And it's terrible because sometimes I've had people call up and say, "I've got this, will you fix this for me?" I'm like, I could do that. I could do that so easily. I know how to do that. I know what's needed, but I can't. Because I know it's going to get stuck here. I know exactly what needs to be done with Spud's PS3. I can do that. I've done it once already. I know exactly what needs to be done. I just haven't done it. So that proves that no matter how confident I am, I'm just not in a place to do it right now. So that's the thing. I've got to be realistic. Postals. So, yeah. Postals, yes. Sorry. I'm sorry to infer that you own a PS3, Spud.
Hey, you're progressing him up in the world. It means he has items of material value. Yeah.
And also, just lots of people as well. Noel Dow's in Birmingham, and just lots of people. It'd have to be someone local. I couldn't like if I was advertising a job and someone was like, "Oh, I'm moving down to Dorset just to work for you," I'd be like, "Oh God, please don't do that." Like, if it didn't work out,
please don't.
Yeah. Because at that point I'm just like, what would I do if it didn't work out? And it just, and I'd be like, no, sorry, this isn't working out. And then it's like,
fire them.
Yeah,
it's a job.
Yeah, I know, but they'd be like, I moved down here for you, and I'd be like,
tough. That was your stupid decision.
Yeah, precisely that.
I am your boss. I am not the one who makes good decisions for you. Yeah. I am the one who makes good decisions for my business.
Yeah. Woo, lads.
But yes, new year, new direction.
New direction. Lots of change coming in the new year. I really hoped. I wanted to be in the new shop by Christmas, but yeah, just because the shop is not ready and things are busy, and it just hasn't happened, which makes me sad because again, it just means like everything is on hold at the moment. And I was talking to a friend on Monday who described the situation perfectly. He was just like, you're at the stage now where you're so close that it's even worse. Like, if the new shop hadn't been a thing, you'd have been just chuntering along. You probably would have tidied up the shop and had a clear out, and everything would be fine. But because you're so close to the new shop, you've completely clocked out. And that's exactly it. I've completely checked out of the shop right now because I'm this close to the new one.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's yeah. So yeah, that's it. Why I'm moving? Yeah, bigger space, more space, lots more space, lots more space, basically. But it's going to be amazing. That's yeah. I think the other thing as well is like my family has always given me a slightly hard time because they've been, they like I don't get rich doing this job. I'm not big enough on YouTube yet. Yeah. For the past, the past 7 years of YouTube has not made me rich enough to go off buy Teslas and stuff like that, or even a car that works. However,
have you replaced your battery yet?
Yes, I have a new battery, so now my car starts when I turn the key, without a jumper pack attached to it.
87.5% of the time.
All the time. It's remarkable. The car runs really well with a working battery. It's remarkable. But
doesn't it have oil?
We digress. Yes, it has oil as well. I digress. I don't get rich doing this job, and I just survive. And my family has always been like sort of, is this really what you want to be doing, Graham? You ever thought of getting a job, Graham? You ever thought you should be earning more money, Graham? And like, it's not that they don't believe in me, they just want what's best for me. But the problem is that sometimes I have been sitting in my shop being like, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Is this the long-term plan? Just covering the bills every month and living in a flat the size of a shoebox kind of thing? Because my flat's probably about the same size as my current shop. It's it's a living room and a bedroom, and that's it. The only thing, it's only bigger than a studio flat by virtue of the fact that the bedroom and the bathroom have dividing walls. So it's like, is this what you want to be doing for the rest of your life? But now I'm at the prospect that I will be in a big shop with a YouTube studio in the back room and a large channel.
Very specifically have to make out that it's a YouTube studio in the back room.
Well, look, shush. We'll get demonetized. But I'll have a big shop that is presentable, and it'll be, I'll have staff, and I'll have all of this, and that is something where I'm just like, yeah, I could see myself I could see myself saying that's a career, that's the rest of my life right there. And and it's a career, it's the rest of my life, and it's something that if I continue to develop like we have developed this year, might end up making me an awful lot of money. And that's the thing, it's just like, and there's always that balancing point of, I'm not in it for the money, I'm in it because I enjoy doing this. However, you're damn right I want to make money. Because people say money doesn't bring happiness. Bullspit. Money solves a lot of problems.
I mean, it's far more comfortable to cry in the back of a Mercedes than it is on a bicycle.
Yes, exactly that. So I'm just like...
Not that I'd know about people crying in the back of my Mercedes.
Yeah. Will Karadog leave you when you're rich? Karadog's probably got more money than I have. But I don't know.
Yeah.
However, at some point I've got to buy next year when I'm actually able to hang out with Karadog again. I've got to buy him a lot of beers, a lot of takeaways, and probably a birthday present. I've at least got to give him a Christmas card, because Karadog is I don't say it very often, but thanks a lot for being with me for this, Karadog, because you helped me out a great deal. And not to get sentimental for a moment, but I greatly appreciate you. I also appreciate David DeWitt for that $5 super chat. Thank you very much.
Hey,
so
if you like me getting sentimental, you'll love our sponsor.
Yeah.
Have you tried the all new flavor of all Wit's new Tic Tacs?
Yeah.
Wait.
But seriously, thank you very much for the super chat, David DeWitt. Greatly appreciated.
Oh dear.
So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. This has been a show where we just talk about the state of the channel a lot, I think, but.
Absolutely.
I think that has value. I hope are you guys interested in this, because like I think the people who come and watch this show are the the most core audience. You guys are the people who are actually interested enough in the channel to tune in to this live show for a couple of hours and watch us prattle on. So, like, I don't know, like, you guys are the ones who I care about the most because you guys are the most dedicated ones. So, make of that what you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also just the other point as well for me, the thing that's quite interesting, seeing the number of people who watch different videos based off of whether they're subscribed or not, and the number of people who watch this compared to the people who are subscribed.
I haven't looked in detail at those stats.
Yeah, and just the fact that was it 2 months ago? I think you're saying like 85% of your viewers weren't subscribed.
Yeah.
And you've moved down to saying like 70% not being subscribed.
I think that's just because global views are low at the moment.
In a sense, but it's also a case of just, it seems like the percentage shift has moved more towards subscribers more consistently on more of your content.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think is possibly a good thing in the sense of you're building an audience that likes what you're doing.
Yeah, it does tell us that the subscribers are consistent and are actually the subscribers are returning.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good because, like, with the best will in the world, a subscriber who clicks the subscribe button and then never comes back is not actually useful. And I hate to talk, for the record, I hate talking about the audience as numbers and subscribers and how useful they are. However, sometimes you have to look at the numbers.
Yes.
To make decisions. That's what the analytics are for. They're the only thing that we have to gauge whether we're doing the right thing or not. But yeah.
Yes. Whether the alphabet overlord is appeased.
Yes. But yeah, we love the channel, Graham. It's informative, down to earth, none of the BS, and get to the point. Thank you very much. And yeah.
Get to the point.
And people are interested. Yeah.
Sorry, are you watching a different stream to the one that I'm involved with?
Oh no. But yeah, right. I think we should wrap up. I'm going to cover one last thing that popped up, which is an interesting one. It's rolled off the screen. PC Bolt asked, "What do you think? Heat pipe cooling is better or vapor chamber cooling?" They both do different things. A vapor chamber is really good as a cold plate. It gets heat out of the chip and spreads it across the base of a cooler. However, a heat pipe, that gets the heat away to the extreme ends of the cooler because there's two stages to a heatsink. A heatsink has two important phases. Hang on a minute. Here's an AMD Wraith Spire, whatever this one is, the Wraith Max, the RGB one. So let's look at the construction of this for a moment. We've got a copper cold plate on the bottom, aluminium fins, and copper heat pipes. So copper is really good at absorbing heat, but it doesn't release heat very well. Aluminium is not very good at absorbing heat, but it releases heat very well. So the thing is, what you want a vapor chamber on the bottom of your heatsink. This one doesn't have a vapor chamber, but it's got heat pipes, which in a way do the same thing as vapor chamber. You want a vapor chamber on the bottom of the heatsink that sucks the heat out of the chip and into the heatsink. Then you want heat pipes to get that heat up to the top of the heatsink because it takes ages for the heat to propagate through the fins. So you want heat pipes that transport the heat up to the top, to the cold part of the heatsink. And then you want a fan that blows through the whole shooting match to get the heat out of the whole system. So an ideal heatsink would be a vapor chamber to get stuff out of the chip, and then heat pipes to move it to the top of the heat to the top of the heatsink. In reality, you're very rarely going to get a heat pipe and a vapor chamber in a single one. There are very few solutions that have both, to my knowledge. However, as I say, a vapor chamber is really good at getting the heat out of the chip, which is a very important stage. But heat pipes are better at getting the heat through a big heatsink. If you had a vapor chamber and a massive heatsink but no heat pipes, that wouldn't work very well because all your heat would be concentrated around the vapor chamber, but it wouldn't be spreading through the massive heatsink. So And so, as I say, they both achieve a different thing. On small coolers, vapor chambers are very effective because they get the heat into the heatsink. On big coolers, heat pipes are better because they get the heat to the cold end of the heatsink. So they both work in different ways, and you need to balance the two. So it depends on what kind of cooling solution you're working with and what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. Also, you'll get much better flatness with heat pipes than you will with a vapor chamber overall.
Yeah. That sounds very difficult to flatten a vapor chamber.
Yeah, it's much easier to make slightly thicker walled heat pipes, squish the heat pipes slightly, and then actually machine them flat than it is to machine flat a vapor chamber. So you'll get much better surface levelness out of arrangement than you will out of a vapor chamber.
And that probably counteracts the advantage of the vapor chamber sucking heat out of the chip in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, vapor chambers are very effective in low-profile cooling solutions, which is why you see them on graphics cards a lot. Because, of course, graphics cards are a low-profile cooling solution because it's got to fit in ideally a 2 or 2.5 slot design. So graphics cards often have vapor chambers because they're very effective in a low profile where you don't have a massive fin stack on top of it. However, ideally you want heat pipes because then you can transport that heat to the other end of the card where you've got a big ass heatsink. So yeah. Right. I think we're done. Anything?
Absolutely.
Good. All right. Right. I think we're going to close up in that case. You don't understand the concept of capacitors. One more quick one for you, PC Bolt, because we've done a lot of waffle, so I'll give you one more. Capacitors in an audio chip. Buzzing in a sound wave would be a buzz. Capacitors absorb AC. They absorb alternating current, which on a waveform is a wave. So high-frequency waves comes out of your speakers as a buzz or a hum or a hiss. So if you have a capacitor that is absorbing that hiss, it flattens the line. Now, the actual audio is really long waves. However, a hiss or a buzz is very small short waves. So you have capacitors that absorb that really high frequency buzzing and hissing. And then that leaves you with a nice smooth audio wave. So that's why you want capacitance in an audio circuit. These are good questions right at the end of the stream. But
alas,
we're out of time.
We'll ask people to put them to us at the beginning of the stream next time.
Yes, or maybe I'll actually read the chat next time. I try my best, but yes. 3-fan GPU or 2-fan GPU?
Depends on the rest of the design.
Yeah, it depends on the rest of the design. I prefer bigger fans. So, broadly speaking, 2-fan. However, some of the 3-fan designs we're seeing on the new 30 series cards, obviously you've got that overhang where you've got the end fan that's blowing all the way through the card. That's a very effective solution. That massively increases airflow. So, depends on the design. Right. We're off.
Yes. And we will see everyone in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no stream next week because it's Christmas. It's Boxing Day or something. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see everyone in 2 weeks. We'll be back, I think. So yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great Christmas. There will be a video out at some point today or tomorrow. So yeah, thanks everyone. Links are in the description down below for my Twitter, my Patreon, and my Discord. Give me a follow on Twitter. I'm trying to be more active there. And as Karadog often says, continue the conversation in the Discord.
Absolutely.
And
then just my only comment was going to be, if you like this, if you want to really help out with the other videos getting shared around as well, comment and like on those ones. Just because if the actual pre-recorded videos get comments and likes on them, they're more likely to get shared around by the algorithm.
Yeah.
Which means that this video is less heavily weighting the channel.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm enjoying doing this. However, this is not the focus of the channel. And yeah, as I say, I'm not going to bin this because as I say, as we've discovered in this video, these are worthwhile and people want to see them. But also, I am very conscious. I am very conscious that the algorithm is pushing these videos over some of the other videos, and that's not what I intended. But as I say, this is solvable by me making more content in a timely fashion. So I'll be doing that. Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, everyone. We're out.
Until next time.
Yeah, until next time. See you in 2 weeks, everyone. Bye!